Halo semua, selamat datang di Mind Slicer. Nama gue William dan co-host gue Chloe. Dan di podcast ini kita bakal ngomongin hal-hal seputar identitas diri, kepribadian, dan psikologi. Hope you enjoy it. Hi everyone, welcome back to Mind Slicer. And today we're going to talk about explorers, which is the MBTI types, Myers-Briggs Typologic Indicator in this season finale. So what do you think of the characteristics of explorers, Chloe?
Okay. Jadi, so this is the final group of types, roles. So if you guys haven't heard our last 3 episodes, we've already done analysts, diplomats, and sentinels. And now we're finally at the last one, which is explorers. Nah, and oh yeah, by the way, explorer itu, their similar traits itu, by the way, SP. Jadi kan kemarin kita ngomongin sentinel tuh SJ, sensing and judging. Kalau ini sensing and prospecting. Nah, from this sensing and prospecting trait, I can see that the common characteristics that are being shared by this group of people are that they're kind of free-spirited and spontaneous and very I would say like they're very in touch with the real world and like they're very like likes to explore the real world. I mean like they're called explorers. Apalagi? What do you think?
Yeah, I think their characteristics is almost kayak this feeling of living in the moment because this SE functions, which is their dominant functions. SE is extroverted sensing, or we can call it as, and they call it sensations, which is, kayak being there and experience something in a time with your all 5 senses, gitu.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, they are very, good at this spontaneous stuffs and also being like a quick thinker, like very fast for the types and also like being very fast for converting their emotions probably, or like just kayak perubahan emosinya bisa kayak misalnya contoh dari fillers gitu ya, dimana dia bisa kayak ngerubah feelingnya atau ngerubah emosinya atau ngerubah values-nya dengan cepat gitu dan dengan spontan gitu loh.
Yeah.
Itu sih yang aku rasain misalnya dari explorers.
Yeah.
So what do you think about their strength?
I think their strengths because of this spontaneity. I think they're like the types that really know how to have a good time. So like, I mean, I have a couple friends who are explorers, and I guess when you're around, you kind of just want to let loose and kayak YOLO gitu loh, vibes-nya kayak seru aja gitu, kayak asik aja gitu, kayak ya karena they really live moment to moment and they're always kind of on the go and like yo let's just have fun gitu. That's what I think. I think they're very good at membawa suasana serunya itu sih. That's what I feel from explorers. What about you?
Okay, before that I want to kasih tahu lagi kalau misalnya explorers itu terdiri dari ISFP, ISTP, ESFP, sama ESTP.
Oh ya.
ISFP itu adalah the artist ya, adventure. Nah, terus habis itu ISTP adalah virtuoso, ESFP itu adalah entertainer, ESTP itu adalah entrepreneur ya.
Yeah, entrepreneur.
So their strengths of these types actually, I think what I just said basically, it's just like this living moment to moment. I guess it's very good to when you live moment to moment, you're not thinking about the future and being detached and all that. You're just focusing on what is now and what our matters is now gitu loh. And I think it's a good way to being alive, I guess. So what do you think their weaknesses of that?
Well, yeah, I mean, they really know how to be present. I think that's another thing I want to add. But of course, with these types, because their main function, by the way, is extroverted sensing. That means the opposite function that is weak for them is the introverted intuition. So they're lacking in the NI. And NI, if you watched the episode, I think, regarding analysts or diplomats, we explained that NI is about creating meaning. So, like, when you do something and then, like, you kind of like find a common thread between these things and you kind of interpret this into something that's like meaningful gitu. So with explorers, because they have this weakness of low NI, they tend to like just do something for the sake of it, tapi kayak apa ya, kayak tahu artinya apa gitu loh. Maksudnya, what does it mean for me? Gitu sih. What do you think? Well,
Yeah, I think the same. Well, ya gara-gara nggak punya NI ya, I think they have this lack of long-term planning, I guess, because they have this inferior NI atau introverted intuitions, which is the functions basically to predict the future or just seeing the pattern that can use to foresight the future in some ways, in abstracted ways. And they're very good at long-term planning, the functions of NI. So maybe they're lacking of that. And because they live moment to moment, basically what they're just feeling is not that important for them to just like planning the futures headlong,
yeah.
because that's what their functions, their hierarchy functions very much and living as in the moment.
Yeah. I want to ask you. Since kamu kan INFJ, INFJ main functionnya kan NI nih. Berarti kan you have something that they're weak, their weakness lies in your strength gitu. Yeah, what do you think about that? Like, I mean, like, you have something that they can learn about, Do you have like friends or like, teman-teman explorer atau gimana yang mungkin kamu kayak dari experience kamu nih kayak kesel gitu loh, misalnya bukan kesel sih, kayak kamu lihat, aduh kamu tuh harusnya bisa lebih kayak gini, kayak kekurangan kamu di sini gitu, gimana?
Nggak gitu sih kalau aku ngelihatnya ya. I mean, I'm just like observing as for the sake of observing it. I guess I don't really judge it. Like I don't really look at it like gimana ya. It's something that should be quote unquote fixed. I think it's just something they. No, I mean, it's not something that I should just like. You should kayak gini gitu. I don't see that way. I guess it's just the way I mean. And maksudnya aku kayak aku ngelihat kalau misalnya nggak selalu sih ya, kayak misalnya the introverted ones, their third function is high, so it's not really on the bottom, and they still can function it very well, I guess. Their NI gitu loh, karena itu masih third functions, which is if you are in a loop, you're using that every time. Ya ada pembahasan lagi namanya loop, ntar kita bakal bahas. Tetap ada fungsi dipakai gitu loh NI. Dan for me as an INFJ, I guess I don't know if it is as an INFJ or is it just me. I guess I think what I feel or what I observe is, this an importance for making plans ahead, which I think lack in explorers group, I guess, or in a
Yeah.
personality, this for personalities basically. And I guess that I'm judging, quote unquote, or just like making it like a suggestions for them to like making a plans ahead. I guess I'm just sometimes I criticize them, sure. I mean like ada temen aku yang kayak ya itulah explorers gitu, dan aku juga ya sometimes maybe I feel like I don't know if I see them as like apa ya kayak a type of themselves, but some way kayak mereka very spontaneous gitu kan, kayak they don't make plans, like keluar kota kayak nggak make plans gitu, terus
Yeah.
tiba-tiba besok aja udah besok mau pergi gitu, dan
Uh,
besok mau pergi pun kayak dia belum tentu besok mau pergi gitu loh, jadi
uh,
open wide gitu, jadi terserah
uh,
mau.
yeah.
Ya aku tanya besok jadi pergi lo belum tahu sih lu mau pergi kemana kayak gitu, kayak malah ngajakin nggak tahu mau kemana gitu. Jadi maksudnya maybe it's just, then again I think it's just like kayak ngelihat itu dari lens yang berbeda aja sih. Ngelihat sesuatu itu menurut aku ya aku sama dia punya lens yang berbeda untuk melihat gimana cara hidup gitu loh. Mungkin cara hidupnya itulah yang bisa dibilang kalau misalnya dia lebih spontaneous, atau kalau aku lebih ngeliat ke long term future gimana apapun itulah gitu.
Yeah. I mean, menurut aku ya sih kayak kadang the harm in just I mean there is a fun part of like just like being in the moment and like enjoying life, looking for I don't know impulse. I mean using your impulse and seeking adventure gitu kan. Cuman kadang I see that sometimes they can just go on this high sensory trip and then like kadang kayak apa ya they just live their life aja gitu lewat aja ngerti gak sih? Kadang NI itu penting karena it's like step back yang kayak reflecting lagi gitu ya nggak sih menurut aku yang kadang kayak agak apa ya jadinya mindless gitu loh I mean mindless as in like really really just lose themselves in the moment sampai kayak enggak ya NI-nya gitu itu sih. Nah aku mau nanya why do you think they're called explorers?
Karena I think just a simple answer is because of this free spirited attitude sih, yang selalu pengen explore things and also spontaneous, also explore these options probably like exploring options in the moment.
Yeah.
I think what do you think?
Yeah sih. I think they're always on the go. Kayak, I mean, explorer is a very when you think of explorer, it's like misalnya ada orang yang kayak uh, jalan-jalan gitu, backpacking gitu, apa sih kayak just going out gitu loh, on the go. Nggak static, you know what I mean? It's just like constantly in motion, that energy is there. That's why I think explorers. And it's fun. Exploring is fun. It's a lot of curiosity. I think these types are quite curious, I think. Ini ada pertanyaan. These types, what do you think they're good at when it comes to like, when they're in a group, you know? What kind of work you think?
I think they would be good at being someone yang quick hand gitu loh. Apa ya, tergantung si grupnya itu grup apa gitu. Misalnya contoh kalau misalnya grup, I think leaders juga bisa kan, karena leaders juga bisa harus punya kayak spontaneous side I guess, and being quick mungkin bisa gitu. Dan juga misalnya contoh asisten gitu yang ngelakuin eksekusi juga harus being quick and fast and just like this spontaneousnya juga bisa gitu. Jadi emang banyak sih asli aspek-aspek si explorer ini bisa being good at in a group gitu. Dan juga kayak dia punya attitude yaitu ya do it now, karena SI itu adalah being in the moment and like just do it gitu loh. Just do
Yeah.
it attitude. And I think that's also good way, I guess, because misalnya contohnya berarti hal-hal semacam hal-hal praktis mungkin,
Yeah,
hal-hal yang
practice.
kayak bisa dilakuin sekarang. I
Yeah,
think they're very good at that.
yeah,
Uh-uh.
yeah. I think they're very hands-on. I think very hands-on people, and apa ya? I don't know why, but I think they're quite street smart. Do you know what I mean? Kayak in the moment, apa ya, that sense of being in the present tuh makes them kind of street smart in a way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah, street smart. I don't know why I thought of that. Uh,
Yeah.
and like from these skill sets gitu, maksudnya kayak so far kita ngomongin, what do you think mereka tuh biasanya end up in what fields gitu? Well,
I guess they're, and again, like being in this moment, because ASCII, dominant ASCII means like loving to be in this moment, loving to just act and do it now,
mm-hmm.
And I think that's attitude. Misalnya contoh kayak singer gitu, basically, especially yang F types, which is SFP, SFP types. Yeah, I think they'll be good at singing, because singing is just being there in the moment in front of the crowd, and misalnya lagi concert, just feeling that emotions
Yeah.
in him.
Yeah.
Just focus on the note per note until the song finish. Basically,
Yeah.
singing have that
Mm.
that qualities of these explorer types that
Yeah.
can go into, yes, and entertainment business, basically probably acting, because for
Acting.
example, like, yeah, like Joey from Friends is, I guess, the SFP kan,
Oh
kayak
yeah.
just be in the moment, yeah, and very, ya Joey kan ceritanya actor, walaupun it's not very good actor kan awalnya, cuman akhirnya dia kan jadi but I mean, yeah, entertainment business probably good, I guess, because being there in moment and just forget all about stuffs and get into the character gitu. Sport players also, because sport players is about nothing it matters except the moment gitu loh, karena misalnya contoh lagi final gitu kan, misalnya bola atau basket, apapun itulah sport, ya mereka harus fokus on the game very much gitu loh, put everything that they're thinking or feeling just in their moment and focus that whole gitu loh. And I
Yeah.
think they're very good qualities for like explorers. So what do you think? They're
I would
suitable.
there selain singer menurut aku kayak dancer juga cocok sih, kayak I think the S part of it really helps them to have a control of their surrounding gitu loh. Ngerti gak sih, kayak their direct surrounding gitu loh. Like especially like entertainers. I mean, I think they're very known to be good at a dance, I guess. And this apa ya? Ada artistic side-nya juga sih sebenarnya. Especially for the feelers ya, kayak ISFP sama ESFP. Kayak ISFP kan menurut aku sih cocoknya jadi kayak I don't know, designer, interior designer, bisa like they're known for like having this aesthetics gitu loh, their eye for detail gitu. I think that the S part helps that. And then it can be quite crafty juga, kayak misalnya virtuoso tuh kayak bisa jadi kayak mechanics, something like that, like using hands, ya kan? Kalau entrepreneur ya, I mean they're called entrepreneur. Cocok sih jadi businessman gitu. Street smartnya ada kalau entrepreneur. My dad's an entrepreneur type, by the way. Iya, gitu sih. I saw this in a meme that kind of differentiates the four roles that we've been talking about. Analyst, diplomat, sentinel, and today finally explorers. Jadi kayak the meme is like this. Jadi ada question kan, kayak why should I do this? Like when they're making a decision kayak whether they wanna do something or not nih. Kalau analis, reason mereka tuh, it just makes sense. Like they do it because it makes sense. It's a logical thing to do. Gitu. Kalau diplomat, it's the right thing to do. It's like ya ke values-nya gitulah kayak it's the noble thing to do ya pokoknya right kan right or wrong kan values gitu. Terus sentinel, why should I do this? It's been done before and it works. Jadi kayak they trust this method. Maksudnya kayak they don't wanna, it's reliable gitu lah. Terus kalau explore, it's funny. Why should I do this? I just want to. Ya kayak ya udah pengen aja gitu in the moment kan. Which is I think it's a good description of the role.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's also, I mean, it's interesting meme, I guess. And I think it's quite true also. And I guess the thing about personalities, what I want to add about this on this last episodes on this seasons is basically just this, because we cover this roles, right? These roles of MBTI, which is 4 of them, and each 4 have its 4 types, I guess, yeah. And the things that I like about these types, basically about this diversifications about these types, is just how varied they are, and basically these roles also play big parts of it, because you identify them by the roles basically. And I might have a critical questions about this MBTI type. Can you? It's like, is it something that just we want to hear? Like maksudnya gini, is MBTI itu adalah sesuatu hal yang membuat emotional gap kita hilang gitu loh, or like just this knowledge gap mungkin hilang, dimana kayak isi-isi dari personality yang kayak type kamu itu mengisi semacam kayak contoh, kayak kamu nggak pernah dibilang seperti ini gitu, misalnya kamu energi gitu kan, kamu nggak pernah dibilang kayak you are true idealist gitu, and this MBTI gitu, this platform basically says that to you, and you feel this very much sympathetic with this quote unquote MBTI personality types, and you think that play big parts of it, I guess, or no?
So you think? So are you asking me? Is it suggestive?
Not necessarily suggestive. I guess it's just I'm asking you, is it something that just we want to hear gitu loh?
Oh,
Kayak perkataannya gitu.
I think okay. Maybe because like sometimes, before knowing these things, we don't really think about ourselves in that way. I mean, like personally, I don't know, like aku misalnya the hardest thing I've always been told to do dari dulu misalnya kayak, can you please describe yourself in 3 words? Itu kayak aku nggak ngerti caranya. Like I don't think of that. But then like I guess it's nice to reading this stuff. It's just like kind of, I would like to say, reminding you of who you are, I guess. Maksudnya, I'm not saying like I'm totally 100% misalnya baca terus kayak agree gitu loh. Tapi kan kayak there's some parts where like, oh iya ya, aku kayak gitu ya. It's kayak, oh that's that thing that I couldn't really explain, but you put it in words for me, I mean, someone put it in words for you doesn't mean you have to agree with every single word that they say. But then I guess it starts the conversation in your head gitu loh. Who am I? I mean, that is for you to fill in the blanks, of course, for yourself. But like, it definitely starts that conversation in your head, that reflective process for me. And not only that, I think to me, this MBTI thing is quite a humbling thing. I mean, learning about other people, I think, is quite humbling experience. I mean, kayak misalnya tadi kita ngomongin tentang explorer kan, mereka kan strength-nya SI, maksudnya first function mereka SI, main functionnya SI, jadi kan weaknessnya NI. Cuman kayak misalnya NI itu that's your strength gitu, because that's like your main function gitu. Like I feel like I learned to appreciate people more. It's just like, oh wow, you can do this thing, and like that's my weakness, and like I kind of admire people because of that, because of their their differences gitu sih for me.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
Okay. I guess I just want to ask a question again. Do you think is this like too much like a fantasy? I guess because this is like almost an archetypes of a character,
Uh-huh.
perhaps that have probably just three full dimension personalities, perhaps, and this MBTI. I don't know if it's just an archetypes
Hmm.
that somehow is a symbol of a
Yeah.
characterization. Is it something that we idealize gitu loh, kayak something that we idealize rather than we are, ngerti nggak?
Okay. Okay.
Asli kita bukan itu, kita cuman mengidealisasikan types itu gitu loh,
Bisa
menjadi diri
jadi.
kita
Bisa jadi.
karena kan apa yang kita ambil kan kayak semacam tes di mana strongly disagree sama strongly agree, and how we can measure. And again, aku bahas lagi kayak some validity error
Questioning.
in that. Ya,
Iyalah.
tapi kayak personality that I'm talking about
Hmm.
is just so interesting in itself, not basically because of the people that are the types basically. And the archetypes itself also interesting as well. And I think it's a word to learn basically, and the deeper we get to cognitive functions and all that, I think it's more fun because probably we're just talking about function,
Yeah.
not necessarily the types. And I guess that's
Yeah.
more unbiased probably because we get much lesson learned from that, because it's basically just trying to understand something objective probably.
Iya sih, benar sih. Ya benar-benar. Actually, I want to respond to what you have to say about like, is this fantasizing? Are we idealizing ourselves too much? Yeah. I don't know. I think as humans, well, humans are narcissistic. Like we want to know about ourselves, because like I guess we don't have anything to do. Ya nggak sih, kayak existence is just like giving meaning, because like if you just like exist and you don't give meaning, it's like what's the point, even if let's say this might not be true. Bener sih. I mean, it's a theory, but then again, science can like, it's just like you're labeling things, and like it's fun to label things because it helps you feel like you know it better. But yeah, there's a clarity, and like humans like that, I guess. Like, why does science exist? Like we just naming misalnya a rose, we call the rose a rose gitu. Padahal kayak apa ya? Yeah, it is what it is. But then we just like to add our touch to it, I guess, like claim it as ours, humans. I think that's what we like to do. I think that's why all of this stuff is made gitu loh, kayak ada karakternya, kayak we're just building this entire thing that revolves around us in a way. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm excited for the next season. By the way, we're gonna talk about the cognitive functions that we've been always mentioning in each episode, but we'll actually talk about it in detail in the next season. Where yeah, I think it's a far more. I'd like to think of it as a far more objective point of view, because we no longer, it's not really boxing. Kayak misalnya ini kan roles kan ada 4 gitu, jadi kayak kamu masuk di dalam mana. Ini lebih kayak ya udah ada, everybody has these 8 functions. It's just like how much you prioritize which one, ya kan?
Lebih ini kan kayak jelasin fungsi satu-satu gitu kan.
Iya, jelasin functionnya aja gitu. Terus kayak
Ya, ya.
type ini lebih prefer pakai apa. Ya, semuanya balik lagi ke preferences. Buzzword. Well, yeah. By the way, the functions, the 8 cognitive functions kan, yang create kan Carl Jung. Itu kan sebenarnya MBTI itu inspired, I mean like taken by Carl Jung. So like it's a derivative of the Carl Jung, what Carl Jung has made. So I guess going to the source would make it more apa ya, deeper aja, which is I'm excited. Ya udahlah ya, kita tutup ya. Season 1 is officially over, guys. Now, stay tuned for the second season where me and Will are gonna talk about the 8 cognitive functions, which is much more deeper, and I think yeah, I can't wait. Okay. Yeah, just like if you guys haven't heard our previous episodes, please do, because I think it can be a good, I don't know, good start to knowing this world before we enter into the more complex stuff for the next season. Gitu deh. Yeah. Do you have anything to say? Well, I want to say thank you for every one of you who have been following us so far for 5 weeks. We really appreciate all your support and enthusiasm for this podcast. Ya nggak, Will?
And don't forget to share it if it's useful or have some meanings to you, or just it's fun. Basically, don't forget to share it with your friends.
Yeah.
And that's it, I guess.
Ya udah deh. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Mind Slicer. See you again next week.